Okay, Vtuber Reincarnation when the soul is reborn, and there's Nemi and at least Doobie. Here we go.
Cute little dog you've got there. But hold on. In a previous life, he could have been George Washington. Nice cat. Perhaps Annie Oakley? And look at him. Why, it's Napoleon. Reincarnation.
The rebirth of a new soul or a new version of something from the past. This phenomenon has been portrayed across countless different fields, a core belief of many religions and philosophies that beings continuously repeat the flow of life, a plot vehicle to send a protagonist into a world unlike their own. It also commonly involves a vehicle, or those videos where newborn babies act a bit too experienced.
Just came out the womb, already know how to live. I already know how to move his head.
Bro definitely been here before.
Reincarnated.
Whether this supernatural actually exists or not, it can be said that a lot of people wish to start their lives anew. Maybe they're lost or they're in negative circumstances, and wish for another chance to make a better life. As they work in their field, there may be better occupations on the horizon, and it would be considered a fresh new start. This culture of being reborn around different occupations would surround one interesting medium of content creation.
Oh boy.
VTubers, online entertainers who use an animated avatar for content instead of one's usual face,
Human face
work
jump
countless
scare.
phases
Oh
of the VTuber
boy.
may end their VTuber life, but not the spirit, the persona. It floats along, waiting for the next opportunity, and that VTuber
Reincarnated.
For countless years in the VTubing industry, there's been a conversation around VTubers and these quote-unquote new VTubers. The culture, the unspoken rules and taboo, and the means of support. And with its changing state regarding mass VTuber graduations...
Boy, they're really showing fun a lot. Boy, I miss her.
I had a lot to think. Why would a VTuber reincarnate and start anew? Can they move forward without the chains of their past? I wanted to understand the entire conundrum of VTuber reincarnation.
Hey,
when
Nemi.
it comes to videos, I'm a certified yapper. So,
Let's talk about it.
hey yo, it's Toledo, that fallen angel kicked out of heaven. Get some snacks, get some water, get some...
Yeah, I've definitely seen this guy before too. I'm pretty sure Vespi also requested one to visit before. This is the same VTuber reporter content
So let
creator.
me explain the concept of VTuber reincarnation.
You and Vespi have the same taste in VTuber news.
Enter Person A. Person A's VTuber is dead. They've gotten an indefinite hiatus, graduated from a band, left an agency, who knows, they ain't creating no more. But in several cases, Person A is likely not leaving the industry. They done put too much into this shit.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Drive, passion, and creativity.
That's me when no one shows up to my stream. Kidding. There's no obligation.
He remains, but their operation changes to another new avatar. They're staying in the industry. There are 3 different pathways.
God, 2001 Spider-Man and 2004 Spider-Man 2 and Willem Dafoe. That was all just great. So glad. Good timeless art there.
Reincarnation. Indie to agency, when a solo creator graduates to join a VTuber company. Nearly everyone you see in VTuber agencies went through this. Agency to indie, when the VTuber leaves a company to become a new independent identity. So names like Nimi Nightmare and Ao Sakura. Or agency to agency, when a corpo VTuber hits the switch teams button. So members like HoloLive's Gigi Marine and... Shoujo, But why would a VTuber reincarnate? Well, as I stated before in a previous video on VTuber graduations, there are multiple reasons why a VTuber would graduate. But in the concept of reincarnation, it's not because they want to, it's because they have to.
Man, what's with guns being pointed at me? This video react section also. Oh!
Say a VTuber joins an agency. While in the agency, you got a VTuber character, model design, stream assets, artwork, who knows. After a year, you decide it best to leave the agency and do your own thing. I want you to look at those executives' face and ask them this. Hey, I get to keep this shit, right?
To be fair, in V Shoujo, you are. What? Silverveil kept her model too when she just went away from V Shoujo. I don't even know what Silverveil's up to nowadays. I haven't heard from her in a while.
No.
Fuck no, baby.
No.
Because according to most contracts, that shit is basically theirs, not yours. And if you're joining an agency, most of them already have a character made for you, and you're playing that character. So regarding these 3 paths, there's almost always an issue of who owns rights, which will result in a new VTuber afterwards. But there are a few cases in which this transfer was made without reincarnation. Say an originally independent VTuber was recruited by a VTuber agency, thus being allowed to keep their original VTuber name. When shutting down, VTuber agencies like Prison Project and Production Kawaii allowed its members members to keep their IPs and not start anew, some VTubers bought rights from the agency to keep their VTuber name, and when previous members of CyberLive, Kaneko Luna or Yuri later took their IPs to Phase Connect after leaving the agency. But for a lot of VTubers that go through these paths, they get a new VTuber name and does have a reincarnation. But we need to fall several years back to this conundrum, to what I call the first stage of VTuber reincarnation, and the rise of VTuber agencies led to the imminent popularity of the VTubing medium. But when VTuber agencies produce these talents, it's not like they had no history.
I know you, and I know you.
Hey, dodgeball reference.
Some of these VTubers people came to love had previous brands from before, previous lives, almost like they were reincarnated. Starting in 2017, a YouTuber named Senzawa would be known online as an anime girl shitposter.
Yep.
Doing meme songs, raps, and streams to reach 800,000 subs by May 2020.
Yeah, I know.
Following whatever the fuck she cooked with this tweet, she'd go on an indefinite hiatus, leaving many fans wondering where their chaotic dummy went. Until all of a sudden, a shark girl took over the internet.
It was never 100% proven, but her voice does sound extremely similar.
Seems she's busy being the shark girl's #1 fan.
Reincarnated.
To be fair, that's very Gargoyle of her. I would be if I had an other pseudonym before taking off as MattBigFat, I would be my own #1 fan too.
2018.
That's 100% suck your own dick. 100%.
Oda was a Japanese VTuber under the talent agency Update, known for high-effort videos and crazy-ass shitposts, and especially sus behavior. He became known as a pioneer of VTuber monetization, helping pave the way for VTubing to be a feasible career to make a living off of. But in April 2020, due to
I'm just happy with some side hustle money
Oda
I get.
had to unfortunately
I don't have to be a famous content creator one day who's like jumping out of second-story mansions into a swimming pool with babes or anything. I can just deal with side hustle money. It's fine. Which, by the way, I want to thank you guys. And also, there was a Twitch payout recently for me. So, thank you guys for continuing to support my fun content creation endeavors. Again, thank you guys enough. I never like overly mentioning it whenever it happens, but when it does happen, it's because of you guys. It's because of viewers like you. There we go. What I was going to say. Oh, yeah, I'm happy with the side hustle money because my real life working is pretty much going fine, so I digress.
hired. But fortunately, a clown began performing at
Oh! Polka!
Yo, those two should collab sometime.
Reincarnated.
As you can see from both instances, this is the typical pattern.
Now I'm just making funny jokes in my head about how if you want to collab, they can just have Jim Carrey play both roles. It's almost like we're the same actor playing the exact same role together.
Typical way of reincarnation. And I could name you several examples of VTubers with past experience or brands reincarnating into their current agency. And I'm not mentioning them all.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nor do I really care. So you got these VTubers. They debuted to loving fans. For a while, everyone was chilling. The VTubers would do their typical VTuber shit, and the fans would do everything they can to support them. But an unpleasant phrase and phase of VTubers would emerge. Graduation.
Yo, there's so many guns tonight, dude.
I'm just gonna
Jeez.
throw the definitions up. You can pause. But not only
I know
were
what it
these
means.
events heartbreaking for fans, they were unanticipated. Keep in mind, during this time, VTubers are hella new. The thought of your
One day, if I have to give up content creation, which means I'll graduate, I'll use that term too, to put it lightly. You always have to play like a melancholy song, or I have to give my announcement. Remember when Fauna gave her 5-minute video announcement, and she had I think she had like a little background sad song. My number one song I would choose would be "The Girl Who Stole the Stars" from Chrono Cross, or Star Stealing Girl, whatever we want an official video title want to call it. That's a nice melancholy sad song, especially when the girl starts singing in the background like la 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 la. It's used during the sad scenes in Chrono Cross. That would be my first choice of song. I decided on a second choice of song I would use. Can I jog my memory real fast? What would be the second song? Oh, I'd use Lost in Thoughts All Alone from Pyramid Fates. I would use that one. So yeah. So that would be my first choice. That would be my second choice. The Chrono Cross song would be my first choice. So if you ever hear that song,
you're just here to
I may have some news for you.
enjoy the ride.
But I digress.
They were gone. It was hard to accept the cold hard.
It was 5 a.m. and I miss Fauna so much, dude. I don't go worry. Nimi's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I found a new VTuber completely unrelated to Fauna named Nimi. That's so cool. But yeah, I missed I miss Fauna so much. I mean, but I'm glad Nimi was able to finish LA Noire though.
Things
And yes, I understand you were a Coco fan.
do
Yes,
come to an end, whether you want
but she seems to be doing good as a Kason.
them to or not, so enjoy the time before it's gone. So that reality of departure was a
Jim Carrey, who was hyped about Sonic 3 Moon Tildes, he would double the work for the exact same pay. I mean, but Sonic 3 eventually became his highest grossing movie of all time.
immersion
Of in his career.
VTuber's body would come to an end. Yet for some, the soul was reborn anew. Sometimes previous departed agency VTubers would have their voice sound very familiar to another fella's model.
You look familiar.
This would wrap its head around the industry.
Damn,
in many
I was
different
expecting the
forms. For
Injustice
example, a reclusive
video footage.
graduated
See how crusty that Injustice video footage was? That was like 240p blown up to 1080. Jesus. I guess no one's gonna go back, install Injustice 1, and record Joker's line from there, like from fresh video footage. I get it. It's a pain in the neck.
demon girl from Nijisanji setting reign in a candy kingdom.
Thanks.
Oh, Duolingo! Yo, it's Duolingo!
Kingdom.
Thanks.
Since I've recently actually been undertaking learning Spanish from Duolingo very slowly. They email me every day saying, "Hey, you want to do more than one lesson a week?" Fat guy. I'm like, yeah, I'll try. But hey, look, it's the purple girl. I've learned about the purple girl. She kind of gotta go. The purple girl, no, not her, the Duolingo girl. She kind of got it going on. I think her canonical name is Lily in the Duolingo lore. You doing anything after this? Yo quiero mirar tu culo, por favor. La chica.
Sounding very similar to one energetic dragon.
Good morning.
La bonita culo.
Suzuhara Lulu in an interesting rebirth of a normal art student. A strong recovery story of a past VTuber finding her light, and the queen of super chats,
yes,
was later reborn. At the time, these arrivals were big news for VTuber fans. Guys, do you hear that shorty over there? That's that old VTuber you once knew.
Absolutely incredible.
You're as beautiful as the day I lost you. But there was a bit of a problem. Multiple months ago, I made a video talking about the VTuber past life taboo, an unwritten rule for fans around the deemed forbidden knowledge, not to share, discuss, or connect the past life of a VTuber to their current incarnation. And it seems I just openly broke it. Whoops.
My fault, OG.
Kill yourself.
But I'm not here to explain the taboo, I'm here to explain the reality. That everyone knew. Countless people in the industry knew the connection, whether it was said out loud or not. And people would see both past and current incarnations as the same person, and make their judgments. As such, there were consequences for reincarnation. When Kei-san returned to her current incarnation from her previous life, she received massive fan support and achieved numerous milestones to move forward. But there were issues. Out of the ordinary content she made received mixed reactions due to being different from her previous life. When she
But to be fair, I gotta give her a lot of credit. She also does, like, she's also one of the handful of VTubers just outright just show her body and or face. So I gotta give her credit.
When VShoujo, some tribalists felt betrayed by her switching teams or being infected by VShoujo. And moreover, that Taiwan controversy followed her, resulting in lost gigs, collabing issues, and aunties berating her moves. Yes, Kei-san be making it happen, but those past ties, both good and bad, remain as a consequence. Another example is the woman behind Rushia. When she re-debuted as both Mike Neko and Nazuna, she gained widespread love and support, but the past followed her into both lives.
Yes, I am aware of that. I have to get into the Yakuza series one day and eventually catch all the way up, but yes, I am aware of that.
Termination, the parasocial fan base, the crazy woman
I've seen it
persona,
through Ray Narvaez Jr.
subsequent
playing.
Controversies hurt her image, 1 year later being absolutely devastating. Rushia, Nazuna, and Mike Neko may be 3 different names and identities, but for many fans, these weren't different characters. They were one and the same, and any issue with one would follow them all. Moreover, despite the ties, she would never get to have the glory days when she was #1. Whether she liked it or not, she could never separate herself from Rushia, but she could never be Rushia.
Shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
You thought you ate?
The premise
Yeah.
of reincarnation. The previous life's accomplishments, stories, and pitfalls would impact the quality of living for the next soul's body. just like how actual reincarnation supposedly works. But it would have impacts for these VTubers. Transitions into new lives caused many speculations, claims, and rumors over past life events. Some past fans missed the VTuber's old brand and felt betrayed by the VTuber quote-unquote leaving them. And certain people would look for—
By the way, pause Andy again. Unrelated. So I changed the layout of chat ever since the last MattBigFat React, where there's no longer like a sort of light blue backing box. I sort of chroma keyed and drop shadowed the text now. So I think it looks a little more chunky and professional, or at least in my opinion. Hopefully you guys are liking your new chat layout up there. One, it lets people see behind your text in sort of like a translucent sort of clear view screen sort of thing.
fine.
I'm going to be honest, I got the idea mostly, well, I've seen a handful of other content creators do it, such as Big Yellow and Andy Cortez, friend of Ray Narvaez Jr., and eventually I'm like, you know what, let me just do it myself. I was playing that for a while. Let me just learn how to chroma key it properly and really pull myself up by my stream bootstraps. And there we go.
Anything controversial from that.
I know, drop shadow just makes everything better. It's literally the barbecue sauce or something like that of artistic creation. Drop shadow just makes anything better.
To your current incarnation to harass you, and most of these VTubers were just looking to move forward and not be chained by their—
Oh, hey Connor.
So why should these VTubers have to deal with this type of past shit when they want to move forward? Well, it's the internet. It just never stops talking. So you kind of just deal with it. So with those consequences in mind, it shouldn't be surprising to hear why when it came to Reincarnation, during this time frame, the past life taboo was still taken seriously. Fans of them knew what could make it easier. Not talking about it. The thought process was simple. VTubers have to deal with this.
Oh my god, Vesper. Holy fuck, Vesper. I don't think he ever really came back and did anything, or reincarnated, I'm sorry. From what I know, I don't know much about him. I know Vespi was like a somewhat big fan of him. As far as male VTubers go, not to be a judgy Jerry over here.
So let's just make their lives a bit easier. Besides, look at how successful VTubers are right now.
Hey, he sang "Crank That Soldier Boy" one time. I'll give him credit for that.
Looks good.
Although it was a very heavily censored version, but still.
Babes are growing in their spot and having.
Yeah, he played Uno a handful of times with Crony.
Shift or change in the VTuber industry is gonna happen.
Niggas really broke, I understand, but goddamn.
Yeah, there was a major shift in the industry. After multiple years of deemed bright and shiny days, the VTubing industry took a turn. For one, the VTuber bubble burst. The mass appeal and instant success for virtual creators began to wear off. Drama became a common occurrence, and the view of VTubing inside and outside the sphere soured, and a lot of stuff was just not great. Because three things happened in increasing proportion: VTuber departure, agency controversy, and industrial shutdown. One or two graduations from a few big agencies? How about multiple VTubers across countless different corps to the point someone's graduating every couple of weeks? Multiple agencies were called out for incompetent, negligent, or malicious practices. And just last year, nearly 20 different agencies shut down.
I can't even name that many. I can name 5 at max.
The VTuber agency dream that so many had feel fleeting. I could go into every VTuber graduation wave, every specific industry-shaking controversy, or each agency shutdown. I'm not going to, because I've already talked about them in previous videos. So everything created one feeling for fellas that surrounded this new stage. Fear that rose-tinted glasses left them blind. Fear that agency issues would tarnish talents. Fear that going in and out of a new VTuber life wouldn't be as manageable. Fear that the good times would end. The past life taboo died, nobody could separate VTubers past and current anymore, and doom posting became a norm. Compared to stage 1 and 2, people lost faith in agencies. Some would even beg VTubers to leave out of agencies, whether that was the VTuber's wish or not. Look, I can't tell you how you should or shouldn't. It's a grim reality we live in that stuff is not great. Just don't
Hello, Kana and Rico.
But surely everything will get better, right?
How? I don't know.
Look, I don't have all the answers. Surprisingly, a fallen angel can't read the future and isn't your fucking therapist. But do I want to lean into more negativity? Problems exist and the VTuber industry isn't perfect.
So let's just skip to the end.
Do I really want that to be my lasting message for this video? Because that's not really my vibe. So what I can do is show an alternate perspective regarding the state of the industry. You know, other than... Remember the key word for this video. A word we've been saying so much that if you took a shot each time, you'd be falling down the stairs.
I'd live.
of reincarnation.
Nah, I'd live.
See, there's a VTuber named Dokugai Shinami-sensei, an independent Japanese VTuber who dreams of being filthy rich.
You might know her for sounding like that female teacher from another company, but I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out my ass.
When hearing about the subject of termination and graduation, this is what she had to say.
今日夜空メルがいなくなったことを知ってビビり散らかしてましたね。いやマジでと思って何なんでしょう本当に。まあね、中の人の方も活動してますし、中の人の方でももう一生分ぐらい稼いでるでしょうし、まあいいのかもしれないですね。ポジティブに考えよう。今時 VTuber なんて卒業したらすぐに転生する時代ですから、ポジティブに考えましょう。わかるよ、夜空メルが好きだったんだよな。だってみんな時みんな転生しません？なんでね、良くないって思いますっていつも言ってますけど。いや悪い流れだ。
Oh, you wonder if they ever really want to continue as a VTuber? I personally think, well, to answer your question in a more mature fashion, I think yes, it is ultimately their decision. Because it just depends on how big they were and how much money they made as their old VTuber self. I think because Fauna was definitely part of Hololive, she definitely made some bag. So I think she just wanted to continue out of her love of content creation. She even thanked us in her goodbye video for making her dreams of being able to play video games for a living come true. So I think ultimately, again, it's a case-by-case basis, but I think it's ultimately their decision. I don't think they're just doing it just to be like Mr. Incredible, like tired eyes wake up and do a job. I mean, there's probably definitely some out there, but I can't list or at least know of one off the top of my head. Like, I'm pretty sure one day it's gonna happen to Gura, and I'm pretty sure she'll be fine too. I think if you don't return to the industry, it's also your choice. Like Vesper, I'm pretty sure Vesper did not return to the industry. So again, it's just ultimately just a sort of a case-by-case basis. But I can't list anyone who I think in the VTuber world does not actually like it from a passion level and only does it as a 9 to 5. Like, what if Gura wants to stop altogether? That's listen. Especially for her going for 4.5 years, even though she's taken a handful of breaks, I'm not dissing that. But she gave me enough gifts through content creation that I'd be pleasantly happy. Again, some good things do have to end eventually, and just leave you, with their parting, well-spirited, gift, I guess, for lack of better phrasing. It's like, hey, my first thought off of my mind is No Game No Life. It's probably actually really not going to get a season 2 one day. I mean, it could, but if not, that series left an entirely great impact on me that I'll never forget. Persona 5 Strikers, or Persona 5 in general, the IP is eventually going to end and move on to Persona 6, and they gave me plentiful. I'm just thinking about it at a weird, like, IP-based level, that's all. If Gura wants to stop altogether, that's fine. I'll never forget her. I have a Gura decal on my car. And if Konosuba will eventually end one day. And I have an Aqua decal on my car, and I have Aqua merch, and I have Gargura merch. It's fine. I'll never forget that. So yeah, it's not how long you go, it's about the gift you can give. I can't wait till I can really give a good amount of gifts to the content creation and/or video game enjoying world. Ray, listen, it's gonna sadden me too a little. Ray Nervais Jr. will stop one day, but he's given me so much. I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled because I get to participate in the world of video game content creation and/or anime culture in general too, and I'm gonna have a blast. As long as I can uphold my over 30 smelly office working lifestyle, Oshimarine ass.
Good times right now? Not really, in every case depends, but never forget.
Oh, that's another thing about not being in good times. Hey, this happens to all art forms. It's just growing pains. VTubing in general is only it's older than 4.5 years. It only came to English speaking territories 4.5 years ago. It's just a young art. It's just an extremely young art form, and especially young in the content creation sphere. Also, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We can steer towards the right direction, but we'll be fine.
The soul can be reborn. A VTuber's body can be reincarnated, but will they be found? Why don't we drop a couple examples then?
Oh, okay.
In 2021, two Misaki twins from a manga gamer's visual novel would make their appearance on a YouTube channel in Vtuber.
Oh boy.
These girls would bring laughs, play games, sing, and explore their niche in Japanese tourism while holding a passion for its culture. Despite being rather small and
Bow bow.
YouTubers, they held a tight-knit community of fans, and they loved it.
That's true. A lot of VTubers go through a lot of health issues too. Like I still don't really know what happened to Sana, but yeah, that was quite the case.
Every moment of interacting with the outside world, and then
That's another example of someone not returning. Sana did not return.
the project was shelved. The girls would later have to go through graduation, leaving their community heartbroken and many others wondering what could have been. What could have happened if these two got
Oh well, wait, she actually did.
a
Oh okay.
chance on a bigger stage? It would remain a unfortunate memory. And yet, two pup twins appeared in Hall Life, two girls under one brand, and overcame the impossible.
We're happy to be here now. If we are.
Breaking the rules, the expectations, and records along the way. And that's one of countless stories of reincarnation. So for many VTubers, that reincarnation into a bigger agency still remains a dream. That ability to receive a platform and achieve goals unlike any other. And perhaps their lives could change for the better. But of course,
I'm gonna be honest. This is also, I don't mean to be a sourpuss about the video too, but I'm starting to realize I'm sort of turning into like a HoloLive like Gen 1er for like by Pokemon sort of comparison. I'm really trying to get behind HoloLive Gen 4 like Justice. I don't really gel with really any of them per se. Like Elizabeth's singing is like really good. I've listened to a couple of her karaoke songs, but I like in total. I'm actually can't really gel with them. Am I turning into a HoloLive Gen 1er? Oh.
not every job works for everyone. Archers can
No,
emerge.
deep breath, Matt. You're fine.
Maybe reincarnation was the best choice for them.
Same. Okay. Oh, so I'm not alone. Okay. Because I went from watching like every Hololive Gen 1 person to watching pretty much every Hololive 2. I forgot what like Council, Hololive Gen 2, and I pretty much watched mostly Hololive Advent Gen 3. I don't really watch Shiori that much, Amelia. I don't, honestly, on God, I don't really find her entertaining. I know I'm not going to make any super friends with that scene, but I don't really find her entertaining. No offense. But I don't really gel with anyone from Justice per se. I don't really go out of my way to really watch them. So I'm like, I'm turning into a Hololive Gen 1 before I am an actual Pokemon Gen 1.
Some of these VTubers, after leaving their previous agency,
Oh no, we're becoming Hololive boomers.
Their creation journey much easier. The ones who
Well, and also back to your previous comment, Sana rarely streams because of back. Oh, is there something regarding her back? Bam. She's most likely younger than me because most VTubers in this industry are. That's wild. I feel bad for someone so younger than me to have back issues. That's always gives me perspective. Like, damn. To be honest, I don't do much with the Japanese side on the Marine. Yeah, I don't really watch much Japanese only VTubers. Also, like I said, I know of Marine obviously from memes and jokes and this and that, and I've watched a handful of Kasuna Ai. A little bit, even back before VTubing came to 2020 in English-speaking territories. But yeah.
transitioned to past brands and maybe to that audience. Others decided to join other agencies or corporate fields, and others would create new independent
Doobie!
brands, thus creating their own
Mimi!
I want to stress that for every person.
By the way, if you're Gen 1, what about Fumiko? No, like I said, I sort of tapered off, especially with Gen 4. Like, I watched all of Gen 1, like all 5 of them. Then I watched pretty much all of Advent. Oh no! I've watched all of Council, except for really Bael's. I've probably my least watched VTuber of Gen 2 Council was Bael's, but I still watched her. And then Gen 3 is where I started to taper off. I really only watched Fumiko and Bibu. I watched a little bit of Narissa. She's okay. In my personal opinion, I think she plays up her family and uses her content a little too much. It's like it sort of gets a little tiring after a while. Like, how many times can one of her sisters say something sexual and get old? I know that's extremely soapbox coming from me, Mr. I don't stop talking about anime butts for 7 years, but I don't know. Maybe it was this outward perspective again. And I did, like I said, I don't find Shiori entertaining. But then so it's like a downward trend. But to be fair, Fumiko, I sometimes now have more hours clocked into than some council members like before them in Gen 2. So the graph is like slightly downward, upward dip, and then down again. So again, it's It's all over the place.
Agency, it depends. I may know names that miss that old life.
You've been really liking Gigi a lot? That's still cool, though. That's still cool.
For the people that I see, it seems that they're happier and are staying strong in their creation goals. And that makes me happy, too.
I'll tell you what. I'll show you one Gigi clip I really like.
Very notable thing that happened.
I'll show you one Gigi clip I really like at the end of this, too.
That grand event of a VTuber's quote-unquote first stream. You want to know some of the numbers? For some of the VShojo debuts, you got 30,000 to over 40,000 max viewers. Yubi, on her debut, reached over 60,000 viewers across both YouTube and Twitch. Nimi Nightmare's debut, over
Nimi Nightmare!
Turning on memberships nearly crashed the stream. And then there's Yuki Sakana.
Ah, it's the funny black guy. Oh, cat break, thank you.
383,000.
I don't have any coffee left. I'll move on to my iced tea.
The third most popular VTuber stream of all time. What the hell? But no matter the state of the industry, across different fields and types, a soul can be reborn. They just need to be found. So, there's a lot regarding the state of VTuber reincarnation. VTubers going into the agency world, going out of it with a new indie name, or changing their form to different fields. It's a phenomenon with many unique wonders, yet drastic consequences. And with every new stage of it, the practice is more up for discussion. Will reincarnation happen more often? Likely. It definitely can. Should they reincarnate? That ain't my business. I'll let the agency VTubers choose that for themselves. Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments on this entire subject, so let me know. But throughout all of this, remember this. Whatever body, whatever brand or name a VTuber may be in, that doesn't change the chance of the soul being wonderful.
I mean, yeah.
That's what they've just been.
Oh?
Huh. You know, usually that cue works. Like I write the line, set up the finisher, and then Kendrick Lamar comes in to say...
Kendrick Lamar. You sure like using Watapon memes also, by the way. An angel flew down upon me. Don't think I don't know where that funny orange-haired girl with the bubble in her hair comes from. Please. I've been around. Anyway, here, let me show you guys a quick funny VTuber clip. At least from Gigi, at least from Gen 4, so I can at least reconcile with them.
So many brain cells gone.
Yeah.
I can feel that.
Same day.
There we go.
No. Oh no.
Oh no.
More
Oh my
squats.
God.
I'm ready. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Show us your feet.
Ah!
Yes!
Yes!
Yeah! Oh, man. Okay.